For more free videos, go to zeroxbilliards.com. All the videos are organized so learning the game of pool has never been easier. From fundamentals to kicking, banking, breaking, and cue ball control, we have all the videos you need to supercharge your game. Creating a consistent transition will help stabilize the stroke, even in pressure situations. It helps prevent starting the forward stroke prematurely. In this example, I'm going to slowly bring the cue stick back. Once I complete the backstroke, then the forward stroke begins. Now in this example, I rushed my stroke and I never fully completed the backstroke, which disrupts this transition. In order to create a consistent transition, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to really slow down your backstroke. We're going to be pulling it straight back at a very slow speed. Next, make sure you fully complete the backstroke. You should have a noticeable pause as the backstroke finishes and before the forward stroke begins. When you first practice this, the slow backstroke and transition pause will be a conscious effort. But after several weeks of training, this part of your stroke will become subconscious. It will happen on its own without you even having to think about it. Next, we're going to focus on forward stroke acceleration. As the forward stroke begins, the speed should ramp upward. The stroke should reach its ideal speed when the tip reaches the cue ball. In this example, I'm going to shoot the cue ball with a firm speed, so I'll be pulling the cue stick back to this point here. Now the forward stroke slowly begins, reaching its ideal speed when the tip reaches the cue ball. In this example, I'll be shooting the cue ball with a soft speed. Since I'll be striking the cue ball with a soft speed, I'm only going to be bringing my backstroke to this point here. Now the forward stroke slowly ramps up its speed. So even when you're shooting the shot softly, you're still going to be accelerating all the way up to the cue ball. And you'll sometimes hear the term deceleration when a player misses their shot or misses position. This is referring to their cue stick not accelerating toward the cue ball. Instead, the cue stick is actually slowing down before striking the cue ball. And this deceleration will change the intended speed of the cue ball. Deceleration usually happens when players are shooting a shot they don't have much confidence in. For instance, in this shot, I need to pocket the 4-ball and stop the cue ball for my shape on the 8-ball. In this first attempt, I'm accelerating all the way up to the cue ball, which causes a successful shot. In the next example, I'm shooting the same shot, but this time I'm decelerating right before striking the cue ball. And we can see that this change in speed causes the cue ball to slightly roll forward after striking the 4-ball. And deceleration will usually cause a player to miss a shot when they're using side spin. Side spin shots are very speed sensitive. In this example, I'll be using low right to go 2 rails for shape on the 8-ball. In this first example, I have good acceleration resulting in a successful shot. In the second example, I'm going to be decelerating up to the cue ball. And even though my aim was correct, since I decelerated, the cue ball had less speed on it, which changed its path toward the 1-ball. Another mistake that players sometimes make is trying to reach their ideal speed in the beginning part of the forward stroke. Now they have to maintain this speed all the way to the cue ball. Players will sometimes make this error when they accidentally shorten their backstroke, disrupting their transition. Now, since their forward stroke is shorter, they try to quickly reach their ideal speed. So if we put it all together, here are the steps you'll need to focus on when training. Find the shot line and create your stance around this line. While standing up, try to get a feel for what speed you're going to need for the shot. Also, try to determine the length of your backstroke while standing up. Next, when you come down on the shot, make sure your head and cue are on this shot line. Practice performing a series of microstrokes to really lock in your aim. Stop your tip at the cue ball for a count of 2. Even though you probably won't be stopping the tip at the cue ball for this long when playing in competition, when training it's important to exaggerate how long you keep the tip at the cue ball. This will reinforce the need to perform this final action. Next, concentrate on a slow backstroke. Complete the backstroke fully, then begin the forward stroke. Focus on accelerating all the way to the cue ball. Once you strike the cue ball, remain still for a count of 3. Exaggerating the amount of time you remain still after contacting the cue ball will remove any tendency to rise up during the stroke delivery. Focusing on all aspects of fundamentals like this may cause you to miss more than you normally would. And that's because we've taken what should be a subconscious effort, the stroking process, and made it a conscious effort. At this point, it's more important to lock down your fundamentals than in pocketing balls. Remember, the goal is to look like a professional before you can play like a professional. In the next step, we're going to be throwing several balls out on the table. Our goal is to run the balls out in order without side spin. Depending on your skill level, the amount of balls you'll be practicing with will vary. In these exercises, we're going to really lock in our fundamentals on every shot. We're also going to create the same pre-shot routine every time. It's important we don't skip any steps as we go from shot to shot. Before I begin my pre-shot routine, I'm going to place a coin to indicate where I need to be for the third ball. This forces me to plan ahead on each shot. And when you start training like this, it's going to take much longer to get through each rack. But getting through one rack like this, where you're focused on every aspect of your fundamentals, is going to do much more for your game than a full training session of just hitting balls. If you come across any problem shots, make sure you write them down. We have problem shot templates located on Patreon that you can print out. If you're a tournament-bound Patreon member, implement these changes into your game, and if you're having any issues, send me a video and we'll go over it. If you're a Protege member, go through these new changes, and since you're a Protege member, you need to be sending me videos several times a month so we can catch any issues that may come up. By changing how you train, you can dramatically change your entire game in about 8 to 12 weeks. Even though you're going to be missing more often, after several training sessions, your ball pocketing will slowly return to where it once was, and over time will far exceed where it used to be. And after several weeks of training like this, the stroking process will become a subconscious effort. And when this happens, there's no limit as to how good you can become at pool. Before shooting the final ball, place a coin on the table to represent a position area. Now try to land the cue ball near this area. In the next series of training videos for Patreon, we're going to go through aiming, ball pocketing, stun shots, and pattern play. In the meantime though, work hard on your fundamentals. If you start implementing these new changes into your training regimen, in 8 to 12 weeks the payoffs will be enormous. To watch more free videos like this one, we set up a page that is filled with free videos covering every aspect of pool. All the free videos are organized by topic, so learning this great game of pool has never been easier. I put a link in the description that takes you directly to this webpage.